Joining me now is Lisa Bahm, Supervisor training and Community Outreach, Business and Career Services at JVS Human Services, with us on the MegaCast. Lisa, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, Tyler.
Appreciate having you on. So you have a really interesting program coming up next week, Tuesday, February 1st. JVS will be putting on a Zoom webinar entitled How to Wow Your Future Employer in an Interview. Tell us about that upcoming webinar, what people can expect to learn as they participate.
Yeah, we're very excited to host this webinar. You know, it's a new year and it's a great time for people to reassess where they're at, both personally and professionally, and perhaps boost their skills and look for a new job. So we've brought together two human resource professionals to conduct this webinar and give advice and strategies how to interview effectively, both online and in person.
And so, as you mentioned, both online and in-person interviews, it's critical to be effective in both of those interviews to wow this new employer and put your best foot forward in potentially being hired by this company or by these companies that you're interviewing with. But as you said, some of these interviews may be in person, some of them may be virtual. For many, a lot of these interviews over the past couple of years have been virtual interviews. What are some of the common mistakes that we're often hearing about or what we're often seeing people fall into as they're interviewing over Zoom as opposed to an in-person interview?
You're absolutely right. More and more companies are using the online method of interviewing. At least the first interview is conducted that way. You know, the best advice is to treat it like you would any other face-to-face interview. You know, it's important to be prepared and do your research before the interview, dress professionally from head to toe, think in advance of what types of questions might be asked of you, and make sure that, in particular, that your background is clear of clutter, that your family members or pets don't come in line of the camera, and that you're putting your best foot forward.
And so what about the interview itself? What should applicants be mindful of to do or not do during a virtual interview themselves? Because their behavior in person, their body language is going to be key in that interview. It's going to be, I would think, even more inflated in importance in a virtual interview because you're not in that moment with that person in the flesh. You're over an internet connection.
Yeah, you know, Tyler, it's a whole different experience. And, I think you have to be really conscious of your body language and what that's portraying. You know, like in any situation, an impression is made of you in the first couple seconds. So my recommendation is that, you prepare ahead. You make sure that your technology is working appropriately, that your lighting is good. Perhaps you do a trial run with somebody else the day before to make sure everything is set up properly for you. Oftentimes we'll hear our clients say that, they weren't able to do the interview on their computer, but instead did it on their phone. It's really critical that you think of this as an opportunity to portray the best that you can be, regardless of what it is, what technology you're using.
We're joined by Lisa Bahm from JVS Human Services on the MegaCast, talking about the best ways you can go about wowing your next interview as you interview for jobs during this pandemic and going forward, as I would imagine these virtual interviews, especially for people that are interviewing for jobs out of state or across the state, across the country, will be something that continues to be part of our future. So what are some of those do's and don'ts, both for in-person and virtual interviews, that may be overlooked by people and maybe so subtle that they can't even really mindfully prevent them in most cases unless they're actively thinking about not portraying these behaviors in their interviews?
The most important thing is be prepared, and even role play. At JVS Human Services, we offer a variety of services to job seekers, and one of those is to do a mock interview. So our career counselors and our employment specialists will provide that service to you where you can actually practice in advance of that interview. And, that gives you the most amount of confidence going into it, is to rehearse and know exactly what key points you want to express, and how you want to market yourself in that interview, whether it is in person or virtual. It should be treated the same way.
We're joined by Lisa Bahm from JVS Human Services on the MegaCast. And so where is the job market at right now? Because in the past, recent past, we've seen there's been a lot of job openings in a lot of different sectors, and businesses were claiming to be really struggling to find good candidates to fill those jobs, or anybody even just willing to fill those jobs and be trained. Is that where we're still at? Or are there still a lot of these good jobs that are available if people are looking?
Yeah, there is still a labor shortage out there. Employees are struggling to find the right candidates. I think that employees are looking for options. What's going to give me work-life balance? Are there opportunities for flexibility to work remote or to work in a hybrid type of situation? But in the end, it has to be a win-win on both sides, right? And that is where an interview is critical. It's not only an opportunity for the employer to find the right candidate, but it's also an opportunity for the employee to make sure that that is the right company and culture where they'll be the most successful. So therefore, we're hoping that this webinar will provide some insight to employees as they're doing their interviews to respond in the right way to be able to assess whether that's the right fit for them.
We're joined by Lisa Bahm, Supervisor of Training and Community Outreach Business and Career Services at JVS Human Services, joining us on the MegaCast. Their How to Wow Your Future Employer in an Interview webinar will be on February 1st, which is next week, Tuesday. You can learn more information and how you can register by sending an email to employmenthelp@jvshumanservices.org. or calling 248-233-4245. That phone number, 248-233-4245, and the email employmenthelp@jvshumanservices.org. And so, Lisa, continuing on, if someone in the audience does want to participate, we gave out the information how they can contact for more information or to register. What else should they know about this seminar? Can they participate? Is it going to be simply a seminar where someone is speaking to them on these topics? Are they going to be able to also have a Q&A session? And who will be leading this discussion?
Yes, actually, I will be facilitating the discussion. The two participants are Jackie Leskowski, who is the Director of Human Resources for Zoran Technologies, which is a medical device developer in Ann Arbor, and Tasha Kelly, who is a recruiter for JVS Human Services, are the two human resource participants on this call. And folks will have the opportunity to ask questions through the webinar. So we hope that, it'll be very informative and helpful to our job seekers. And by all means, we encourage job seekers to reach out to JVS through those through our phone number, 248-233-4245, or employmenthelp@JVS Human Services, to take advantage of the many resources we have. Career counseling, job search assistance, we offer computer training, we review resumes and LinkedIn profiles, and we offer financial education. So there's so many wonderful opportunities available. You can also visit JVS's website to learn more about the many programs we have at www.jvshumanservices.org. So we encourage people to take part in this. It's a great chance to re-energize and have hope for the new year.
So, Lisa, before we let you go here in a couple of minutes, what are some of the other services that are provided by JVS Human Services for those that are seeking jobs? And maybe what are some other upcoming seminars and upcoming events, virtually or in person or both, that people may be interested to attend in the coming months?
Yeah, we offer so much. And on our website, we have a variety of webinars that have been created on giving assistance in your job search. We offer computer training programs. We have a 6-week Microsoft Office training program that's conducted in person. This is a hands-on learning experience for job seekers to brush up on their skills. We also offer online classes with 800 different topics to boost your skills in a variety of different ways. Just a whole variety of different things to serve your needs. So, don't wait. Start now. The job search process takes a little while sometimes, and it's great to start that momentum. And again, like I said earlier, it really boosts your confidence and gives you the energy and feeling empowered to make changes happen.
Well, Lisa, we appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us, giving us some of that really helpful advice for job seekers on how to wow their potential next employer in interviews, and to tell us more about that upcoming seminar on February 1st through JVS Human Services.
Thank you.